Hello, ladies and gentlemen of SeemsGoodMagic.com. It is I, Travis Semulin Sowers. It's been a minute. How y'all doing? I don't think I have drafted under the Seems Good Magic banner in quite some time, but it feels good to be back. I was hanging out in stream talking about a new video series I've been doing, which is called The Joy of Drafting, and aimed at teaching people how to draft conceptually, like not set specific. And Alex happened to be in chat and was like, "Yo, dude, you want to come do another draft video and tell people about it?" I was like, "Heck yeah!" And Eldraine's a great opportunity for that because I actually haven't drafted this format very much. I remember the troll was pretty dang good because like there's just nothing you can do about it. So I think we're going to start out with a troll. But like I got to the point where like when I was drafting this before, it was only drafting with bots, and the only deck you could draft was Blue Mill. So I actually stopped playing for a long time and came back with people drafting, and have had a blast now that we can actually draft with people. We made the gem printer go burr, which was nice. When I came back, I had like 14,000 gems, and I think now we're up to 45 or something like that. So I've been doing pretty good. But one of the ideas I talked about in the draft video series, like the Learn How to Draft series, was that you should prioritize bombs removal, additional value, and efficiency. We call that brave drafting. And the Clackbridge Troll is pretty much a bomb. They're going to have to deal with it or it's going to kill them. Now, it doesn't play particularly nicely with something like Improbable Alliance, just because this is double black. This is not. But I think Improbable Alliance is still probably our pick here. There's a lot of ways to trigger this, and if you can get the fairies going, it's kind of absurd. So I think this would fall more on the additional value scale. It's not asking for a lot. Like the other option is we could take the Folio of Fancies and just like go in on the mill strategy anyway. Which frankly, the more I think about it, that may be the way I want to go. Yeah, what the heck? Like, the reason I hated the mill deck in Eldraine before was because it was the only thing you can do. Now that I know I could do other things, but I'm choosing not to, it makes me a little happier. But Improbable Alliance is very good. But this, like, what is this really asking me? This is asking me to draft blue cards. Runaway Together should be very good in that deck. I'm curious if because like I think we're going to want some of the merfolk dudes if we happen to bump into any of them, and it's quite good with that, quite good at stalling. I'm curious if I'm interested in the Arcanist Owl, or if we'd rather just leave the option to be blue-black. And technically we'd still have that with the Owl, right? But like this could find us the Folio. It could find us Witch as well. It could do anything. If it seems like I'm overvaluing blue cards in this format, just to warn you, it's because I am. I really liked blue in this format. I mean, this runs the danger that we'll just kill them instead of milling them, but I'm okay making that. Why is there another one of these? I don't want to make these decisions. I just want a good deck to be handed to me and then easily win and brag about how great I am. Like, that's really what I was going for here, and now I'm having to make, like, decisions and crap. It's really tough being me. I'm still going to take the Improbable Alliance. All right, now I think I can take a Witch as well and be happy. Although, I'm kind of interested in the Merchant of the Veil, too, but, like, this goes more with the blue stuff. Now, of note, we haven't seen any really good black cards pass to us. Still kind of haven't here. So we probably need to like move this along. Outflank is not the best card in the world. Neither is Didn't Say Please. So like I don't think Outflank is enough to get me into like, let's play blue-white. But I know I'm blue. I could just take the Didn't Say Please because that's going to be playable. But I think we're like blue-red or blue-white, and we kind of have to figure out which one. So you want me to have artifacts and enchantments, which I kind of want to have anyway. Just the Alliance seems better. But not if I don't get the support for it. This card's also incredibly powerful. Like it's saying, hey, draft some adventure cards, which you kind of already want to do. All right, fine. Yeah, it's looking like Blue-White Skies may be the direction we end up going, which is less exciting than Improbable Alliance. And it's not like this is going to be bad. You can mill somebody out with it. It does something. It could make something like So Tiny playable, for example. But in a deck like where we're going, we may actually want a Prized Griffin, which is not something I expected to be valuing that highly. It's a good stat line, though. Run away together is wheeling. This is good news. I don't think we're going for like an all-in sort of Millum deck, because like we don't have any of the Merfolk dudes, and it's pretty like we're deep in this pack. So like we could maybe get one if we value it really highly, but I don't think I want to value it that highly. I don't think I really want any of this. We could, in theory, play a jousting dummy. Like that can be useful for forcing through the last few points of damage. We are legitimately set up to do it, although I remember this being playable, at least playable adjacent as well. Gingerbrute was part of an aggro deck. And overall, not a bad card. It's an artifact. This deck's going to care about that. But surprisingly, I'm going to take the Paladin here, just in case we open a red bomb, and I'm like, I want to play the red card. Right now, we don't really have a whole lot of ways to be drawing cards. Is Bake into a Pie just better than what we were doing before? Like, I lose a Griffin and a Shine Chaser, but I get a Clackbridge Troll and Bake into a Pie? That might just be better than everything we're doing so far. And like one of the things that I haven't done the video yet talking about this in the joy of drafting, but one thing you can consider here is we saw literally no good black cards. That means that Ghastly Whale also saw no good black cards, which means they shouldn't be in black. And if they're not, then we take out a Prized Griffin and a Shine Chaser, we bring in a Troll and a Bake into a Pie, and all of a sudden our deck got significantly better. And they're going to keep passing us the cards. With any luck, no one's in blue-black in that wheels, but I'm not gonna think that happens. What does this do? Whenever a white creature you control attacks, you gain 1 life. That's kind of medium. That's exceptionally medium. This is a pack I'd like to take a blue card from, but there's just not really a good one. We could look at Slaying Fire to try to play the Improbable Alliance, but I'm not drawing that many cards unless we get the folio. So like this making 2 fairies isn't exactly great. It does combo with itself, sure. God, I really want to find what's open and draft it and look like a genius, but I just can't get to it yet. Then we've got an Ardenvale Tactician, which is actually quite nice. We could play Into the Story. Because, like, that's not crazy to cast for 4 late game. Like, if we were going to switch back into white, this would be the turn to do it. I'm going to take blue cards for a little bit. Oh my god, I love Fae of Wishes so much. This is, like, one of my favorite cards. Because then you can do all sorts of stupid stuff to go get crap out of your sideboard. It's so much fun. And it's asking, like, the cost you have to pay for it is to play a 1/4 flyer. That's just absurdly good. I want this. Reeve Soul might be a better pick, and I'm willing to admit that. But this is cool. I want to do cool stuff. Seeing the Reeve Soul does kind of solidify me into, like, we're probably doing blue-black, though. All right, we've got a Charmed Sleep, Castle Vantress, which is not bad. I really like Hypnotic Sprite. There's an Unexplained Vision, which I think is decent, but we don't need it when we've got into the story. I think the Hypnotic Sprite is what I want here, because we may just be going for like a blue-black skies deck. Charmed Sleep's quite good, though, but I've seen this go exceptionally late. The Castle might have been a better pick, frankly. Oathsworn Knight's the real deal, yo. There's certainly some spots where it can be worse, but this card's quite good too. So I think we're in the right color pair finally, because I'm getting cards I would happily pick, like in the 2nd to 5th range. Pick 7. That makes me happy. So one thing we can think about here is cards that aren't necessarily great, but could be good to get from the sideboard. Because I feel like I've got, well, maybe I don't have enough top end. I wouldn't be too embarrassed if I end up playing this. I don't have to play it, but I could. Righteous! We got Drown in the Log back, which is pretty neat. Like, this takes a little bit of work to get going, but I'll work it, girl. Queen of Ice is alright. Not blowing my mind, but it's fine. I thought this card was going to be better initially than it turned out to be, and I kind of just had to take that initial opinion I had and kind of let it go. Let it go! You know what I'm trying to say. We got a Tomb Raider. Neat. I still ain't sure if we're playing this owl or not. We'll see. Now, if it's a lot earlier in the draft, we'd be talking about this fella, but it ain't. So, sadly, we must let him go. The question is, do I prefer a Carriage or another Charmed Sleep? I think I prefer another Charmed Sleep. Like, I've seen people go all in stacking stupid enchantments on creatures, and just having a way to kill stuff is nice. Like, these Runaway Togethers also aren't looking particularly great for us currently, because we didn't get a bunch of the things that do the stuff in the place. Spectre Shrek. Not for me. A Log Dragon ain't bad. If I'm going to build a mana base that can cast the Owl, I can build one that'll cast this. It's just we're not reliably casting any of our black cards. Frogify's okay too, but my removal suite's fine. I just need ways to kill people, and I don't have them now. So I guess we're looking at this, but I'm not exactly thrilled to boot it. Forever Young. Solid value card. Turning things into a pumpkin's not bad. I might could almost get this to mono blue. Because I don't think the Oathsworn Knight's doing that much right now. If we're mono blue, I could play the Snapper. And by mono blue, we could probably still splash Drown into the lock if we wanted to. If we're not mono blue, then I want the Reaper of Night. I think I probably need to take the Reaper. I don't think I'm quite close enough to playables to be able to pull that off. So there's one Secret Keeper, which we could play with the idea that, like, it is nice with the folio, and it sets up to enable the Drown in the Lock, and it can sort of block things. So I think I'm going to play it, but I'm not exactly proud of myself. Festive Funeral could do work now that I have one of those. I feel comfortable adjacent playing that. I don't think I want to go nuts on an Eye Collector, but the mana base we have currently, because I think I may end up playing both of these, is going to need a Golden Egg. And I think I got enough card draw that I don't need that. We could play Two Didn't Say Pleases. Again, not super happy about it, but we could. Yeah, none of this particularly matters, but having access to a Roving Keep in the sideboard would be nice with the folio. I think I already had one, but we can play that, because our mana base should be heavy blue. I don't actually need another Runaway Together. I feel like two's plenty, so I'm going to take another Sanctuary. I'm probably cutting the Knight. Just because well, let's see what the mana base looks like. But I feel like this card shines when you can cast it on turn 3, right? And be like, you're going to have to trade off 2 creatures, chump block this twice, and then trade off something relevant. And if I'm playing it on like turn 10, I don't feel like it does the thing with the stuff very well. Because this deck wants to be pretty heavy blue. That doesn't mean we couldn't go get it sometimes. We probably could. Is there any world where we're interested in that? Like, it's not terrible, but I don't think I actually... I mean, saying that I want it is a bit of a stretch. Alright, let's see what we can put together here. This isn't the best blue-black deck I've ever seen, but it's got a plan, and I like it, because I like blue cards. So this is new. I like this too. You can actually sort things by curve and look at stuff. And like realistically, I feel like these are coming down significantly later. This deck has some plan to mill somebody out, but it also has some plan to just die because it's not really playing any 2-drops, and I don't super care for that. And like the Oathsworn Knight just isn't playing into that plan. So I think if we've got anything we could bring in for early game, even if it's not particularly good, or that could stabilize us later, we'd be interested in that. So you're in, dummy. I just want to be able to block stuff. I just want to be able to block stuff. I think I'm a little happier running more lands in this deck with the amount of card draw that we have. Because we can get lands off of this, we can get lands off of it. Well, we can spend mana to get action off of a Witching Well and an End of the Story and like this cycles. So I feel like we've got enough stuff to do with mana that I'm comfortable playing more lands. I really wish I had another 2-drop. I don't think I prioritized them high enough, so that means I probably have to play another Didn't Say Please. Which plays well with the theme of the deck, right? Like, mill them out, get them, go, go. But doesn't play well with the getting run over thing. I've seen some very aggressive decks in this format. Now, one thing you can do to maximize your win percentage is mismatch your lands in draft. It tilts some people, and that's just funny to me. So we're going to do that. I want at least 10 blue sources. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we can play 7 black sources. And why not? I think I've got the Eldraine sleeves. Yeah, let's rock them. And then the size board. What can we actually get with our Fae of Wishes? We can get a 1/5 if we want a 1/5. We can get a mediocre flying threat. We can get a Wicked Guardian and maybe draw a Curd. We can get these two, which, like, if we're flooded out, is kind of neat. All right. This ain't the coolest thing I've ever seen, but we might can get some wins out of it. No Revenge of the Ravens. That makes me sad. So I'm going to mention the draft video series thing I'm doing one more time, because I do hope that some of you will check it out. I'd have people come into the stream and be like, how do I get started drafting? And the normal answer was like, you know, watch a streamer, go listen to A Million Years of Limited Resources of Lords of Limited. And I wanted to kind of have a place where you could go to get the basics without having them be format specific and get them in chunks. So it's like 10-minute episodes of here's a draft concept, like mana curve, like quadrant theory, like pick orders, and you can just go learn that concept and then apply it. It's called The Joy of Drafting. This looks like a decent keep to me because we can cycle through this, have at least one black available if we need it. We've got the folio, which was part of why we built this. And we've got access to a removal spell if we need it and our opponent's doing something fast. Like, this starts to mill quickly if they don't do anything. But I think I'd rather go ahead and get the Charmed Sleep going. If we can hit a swamp, I'm probably more interested in saving this Sanctuary, because we could potentially buy back another Baked into a Pie. But I don't anticipate they're going to sit here and do nothing for several turns. So options here are get this in play where it's not actually going to do a whole lot, or cycle this for life, which doesn't really do a whole lot. Okay, so maybe there aren't really that many options. We just play the thing and move along with our life. Because we could potentially mill for, what, 5 a turn? That's not really outracing the dwarves. I don't particularly want to Charmed Sleep a dwarf, but we could if we had to. They're being aggressive. I don't care for it. My plan was to be controlling. And to miss my land drops. That was also part of my plan. I just need 1 black and we can start doing something. Play what you like, for the splash and be free. You are getting run over. Alright. Go the F to sleep. So many dwarfs. Hey, neat. I'm pretty happy to kill that one way or another. Alright, so we're losing our value there, but that's okay. You are going to sleep. And you get in there, dummy. You can see how good the folio is here, right? Like, it is basically single-handedly doing nothing, which I like. Resolves. I could activate for this for 0. That's what the dummy was for. Hey, black mana, what's that all about? So they go and potentially sacrifice these things, but I think I'm okay with that. Because it means I'll be drawing cards and gaining life, which is kind of what I want to do. Now the downside is they could just kill it and I'm kind of out of luck. But that's alright. So this is currently -3/-3, which handles some things we might be concerned about. Like that fella, that's a real card. But if they sacrifice stuff to tap this, they're gaining me more life than they're hitting me with. So that's kind of alright. We might need to have a festive funeral for a Weaselback thing. We might also just tap it and draw some cards. But let's first see what they're going to do here. Nothing? Okay. I might just want to tack into that. I don't know how this works out poorly for me. Because I can always just do this. Again, you can see the value of the folio. It's been sitting here the whole game. Oh, I can go get so many things. I don't think I can get a 2-drop, though, but I can go get a thing and then play this. That's exciting. You gonna feed the troll? No? Okay. This kind of makes me think I should hit you with the troll. I should have put lands in the sideboard, huh? That's exactly what I should have done. Did I not? Oh. It doesn't get creatures. I'm pretty bad at this, huh? Yeah, that's embarrassing. That's really embarrassing, because I just spent 4 mana to go get this. And that's not good. I should read these cards. Why didn't you stop me? This is really on you guys. Non-creature card from outside the game. So this is actually kind of bad. I was like, look at me, I'm so smart. I'm taking this 6-mana creature that we'll go get. And then we didn't. Oh god, that was so bad. I mean, not bad enough that I'm going to lose the game over it or nothing, but... They didn't even want to kill it. We could mill them for 1 here. Look at this. I could run it away together and then get another spell I can't cast. That's so good. Now they must feed the troll. I think I'm okay chillaxing here. Because all I'm really worried about is that fella, and I can give it a festive funeral. If that's something we're actually worried about. I think I do want to give it a festive funeral. Let's see if you've got anything that makes this bad. I probably should have done it in response, but okay. Non-creature spell. So my Fae of Wishes can't actually get anything good, can it? Unless I have... So here's the way we make it good. You ready? So what we need to do is have the egg in play and not have used it. And then we can get something that's actually relevant. Because right now all it is a Mantle of the Tides. But if I have that in play, I could play an improbable... I could get an Improbable Alliance, play it, and have it not do anything. Okay, that doesn't actually work either, does it? We could use Slaying Fire? Sort of? Dang it, I wanted that card to be good. I mean, it's still fine as like a 1/4 flyer, but that's... Oh man, I didn't play this format much and I didn't bother reading the card. I just assumed it did what I wanted. The cards are way better when you do that. I mean, I figure why even bother reading them? You just kind of look at the pictures and you can tell what it does from there. You know? At least that's what I thought. So I think I've done 4 Eldraine drafts since they came back. I've had 2 7 wins and 2 3 wins. Kind of got to go big or go home sort of a thing going. And since I'm already home, well, it is what it is. Now, considering how powerful of an effect this is, we may just want the 1/4 flyer this time. If our opponent's doing something sufficiently slow, we can do some Folio of Fancies shenanigans. Red isn't known for being slow, you know what I mean? Who's a good boy? It's like it's on fire and shedding. Are those stars or leaves? I think they're starfish. No, this is Patrick. Now that is the best combo I've seen with Mantle of the Tides. I think given what they're doing and given what I'm doing, I just want to like play out things that can attack. Because it looks like they might be missing some land drops, and just putting creatures on the table might be beneficial to us. If they're going to sit and draw cards, this is always an opportunity for us. Kind of spiffy we can bounce that if and when we need to, which it kind of isn't now. I can play that and activate it when I have 5 mana, so there's some indication here to just play out the Tome Raider. I don't see a compelling reason not to attack with that. I don't think I'm going to block with it. Meh, 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 meh. I should have thought about the Witching Well when I did that, but I'm bad, and I feel bad. Just taking the aggressive lines because they're stuck on lands and I'm not. Not like 3 points of damage a turn is hyper aggressive, but it's kind of where we're at. They'll eventually just play this. They went one top, so if I have the opportunity to play this and activate it next turn, that is 100% what I'm doing. Ah, nope, they're going to get it now. But we're certainly attacking. I think I like this first, then the well. And we can use this to find another land for us. So this is going to enter tapped, which is unfortunate. But I think just something we're going to deal with. Now, who has to have? Target opponent. So we can cast this on the cheap before too long. But like now the game actually starts. Conveniently, it starts with them at a much lower life total, which I like, but... wonder if I should have gone in for the mill plan earlier. I kind of like the idea of holding up Runaway together or draw some cards with this, because that seems fine too. Because I think they want to just draw more cards with their well, and they're feeling pressured to do that. Because like doing that and then going to even lower might be an issue, and who knows what flying defense they've got. They kept a reasonable hand though, with like one of these and the Thrill of Possibility, presumably. I'd forgotten that card was in this set. I just remember it from the core set. Eldraine was kind of a nice break from the core set as well. Show me what you got. Ooh, a Lark Jargon. A Lock Dargon of blocking. Well, what if it wasn't a dragon? What if it was a delightful pie? I like pie. I mean, don't you like pie? Of note, we can get our 3 damage spell if we run away together with our Fae of Wishes and use the Golden Egg to cast it. You guys were thinking when I said that that would never happen. But it totally could. All right, we're going to go on a slightly different plan here, I think. Which is, I think, cast this, hold it up, and hold up into the story. So I can do whatever I want here. You want to stop the beats? That's fine. We'll stop the beats. I can't remember if that spell actually goes face or not. They're going to bounce my guy. Okay. I find this acceptable. I think I just want to draw 4 cards, and we can stabilize from there. I'd like to have more mana to play with. Am I willing to take a heap of damage and get their last 2 cards? There's some value in that. There is some value in that. I kind of need to deal with this, but I can't. How many cards do I have in the graveyard? 3? So I need to get some more cards in the graveyard if we want to have a festive funeral for Home Slice. The Fae of Wishes seems like a pretty reasonable play, even though we don't really get our value. Because that means that I could block that and have the opportunity to hit their last 2 cards, which I think I like. Yeah, I'm pretty glad we got rid of those. Now, they can draw more and they still got random 2/3s to play. Those aren't going anywhere. What are they doing? We can do this and hold up Runaway together, which I don't think is terrible. What they're doing is going to draw some cards with this Witching Well. Okay, that's not crazy. Am I realistically going to run away together? No, but I've got the option of, like, draw a card, gain 3 life. That's not the worst. Alright, sure. Have your wells, then. They're at 18. We're at 18. We could conceivably get them. I play a lot better Magic when I'm drinking coffee. It's a great spot for us to have Runaway together. Because I can just play the same turn over and not care that much. Did they think I just wasn't going to block? Maybe. That guy's pretty good. So the 3 damage spell doesn't look that appetizing now, whereas this guy looks pretty dang good to me. At just a, we need to be stable, so let's get stable. We are going to take some flying damage this turn. I'm kind of okay with taking 2. And then we should be stable at 11. And we do need to keep an eye on the library totals. Festive Funeral is up to 5 now, so I can just kill this when we need to. Oh, dude! Whoa! They don't even get the 4/3. I'm so good at Magic. I didn't even know how good my play was. That's how you print gems. You just cast your spells and don't know what they do, and just watch that gem printer go brrrt. Holy carp, I'm so good. They don't even want to attack with these fellas, which is fine by me. Don't attack. So what's their plan here to draw the cards and block this? What if your big guy was just dead? Is that what I want to do? It's not my last removal spell. So it's not really saying that, like, this is using my last removal spell, if you think about it, because it's not. I still have the Charmed Sleep if we need it. And this lets me attack with this fella, have up the Hypnotic Sprite to counter their stuff, have up the Gain Life, all that stuff. I thought it was at 5, but I was looking at my hand size. And I'm bad and I feel bad. We're not going to judge me on that. Yeah, we're gonna let that one pass. That was a mistake. And yeah, okay. I've learned to count. I've learned to count. You know, it's not fun unless you give him a chance. I'm going to go with that as why I did that. We needed to give them a chance to get back in this game. Because otherwise, like, it's not going to be fun. I need to be grown up and just play some dang flying blockers. I don't wanna, but since I punted that game away by thinking I was killing this when I wasn't, we will have to rearrange things briefly. Because I think I need to keep this under control with Charmed Sleep. And then just, again, be a grown-up and play these out. And at that point, there's no reason not to have this out, too, I don't think. And then next turn, we can use all the mana and do all the things. Because I should be able to mill them out from here, right? I can have them draw 1, 2, 3, 4, and then mill for probably 6 twice. Man, I'm still tilted about that. It could have been so good. It could have been so good. I gotta make sure I don't kill myself with it too, but they're at 10, so it shouldn't be a problem. I can almost just activate this twice and get them. Yeah, with all of this up, I feel like we just pass and are basically winning. Because I can counter a spell, I can kill a creature this time. Because with them at 8, we can go for... I can at least mill for 4 twice, which should do it. And then make them draw out. Because they're down to 4 cards now. And I can make us both draw 4. So I think they have to kill me here when I've got a counter spell. Counter target spell with CMC less than or equal to 21. I can probably do that. Do I care about that? No. I do not care about that. Don't care about that either. So let's both draw 4. Can I do 5? I don't think I have 10 mana. We can only do 4. Your turn. Better lucky than good. It's what I always say. I usually play best of 3. I started playing some best of 1 with the core set because I was bored. I think we played that for a day. And obviously this is the only way I can play Eldraine, so I'm playing Eldraine in best of 1. I like sideboards. I like sideboard cards. I think it makes for interesting decisions when you're drafting. Like, do you take a really good sideboard card over a pretty good playable? And I think the answer is often yes. But I had a lot of complaints about best of 1 back in the day. I'm recognizing after playing it some more that most of those were actually just complaints about drafting with bots. Because a lot of it seems to have been fixed now that we can actually draft with people again. Who's a good boy? That's right, you are. Probably going dummy into counterspell. Since it looks like that's what we've got the option to do. Probably dead too. This card's fair. This is exceptionally fair. +2/+2 equip 1. Unless your deck's just terrible, right? So I think we're at a spot now where I have to counter literally everything they do. Which maybe we can do. We should do this into turn. So I don't think milling for 5 is going to do it. I think killing things is going to do it. I'd rather use that than the Charmed Sleep here so that we can stock up our graveyard so that Festive Funeral might one day be able to kill something, and so that I could potentially activate this and have us both draw in a future turn. Them drawing cards is good. Them lowering their life total is good. I like a lot of things that are happening here. I'm halfway tempted to just activate this on their upkeep. I could just fire off Festive Funeral and hit them for 2. I could have us each draw 2. I could have them discard 2. That's synergy. Synergy. Do I think I'm going to win the game with the Jousting Dummy? Not really. Do I think the best card in their deck is a Bloodhaze Wolverine? Not really. If they're going to spend 3 mana to equip that and send it at my face, am I comfortable trading this off for it? Kinda. Kinda. I'm not quite sure which direction to go here, so I'm going to pass. And I think activate this. That's 3 to activate? Yeah, I think I'm on board with this. Let's get you. Like, that's a significant mill. That might be incorrect, but it turns on our lock thing if we draw it. I think it encourages them not to move this over and attack me. Yeah, they've had enough. Folio, ladies and gentlemen. I like it. It's kind of neat through the magic of video editing that I can take a break, refill my coffee, go to the bathroom, and you guys wouldn't even know it if I hadn't mentioned it. So let's pretend I didn't mention it. Sadly, there wasn't quite enough coffee, but, you know, a little bit can go a long way. I like the cosmetics they've added to Arena. I like the battle passes. They're kind of fun. I like playing Magic as if it's a digital game, a video game, if you will. I haven't really played Paper Magic probably since GPDC. It was a team GP, Dominaria, and I had two of my buddies come over and play in it with me. The grudge match. Bolus versus Eugene, who will win? Well, apparently all I have to do is play a folio and people will concede, so I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep this. Also, I would never mulligan a 2-land hand in Limited, especially with a cycler. Whee! Let's get the party started. You're going on an adventure. A flight of fancy, if you will. Yeah, this guy doesn't do anything if I play it now. It could block that, but it probably won't. I'm a bit of a slave to mana efficiency, but the grown-up play is probably to still play this and make them do something with it. Like, they can probably play an enchantment and fly over me, but I don't think I'm missing a lot by not playing the egg, since I can make a land drop next turn. Like, if this actually holds that off or eats a combat trick or whatever, it's probably just fine. So I do want to draw the card. I could hit a tap land, which would make me sad and gives me some inclination to play this. Because if I play the Tome Raider, there's no guarantee that it's not going to be able to block, which is awkward. But I think I like it because even if I draw the tap land, I could play the egg first trying to hit another blue, which could be fine. And even if it's not going to block, it does give us something that could attack. It's okay, boy. We'll get him. Resolute Rider's pretty good. I was gonna think of things we could do other than baking it into a pie, but I don't think there actually is one. If they're able to untap, there's just nothing I can do about it. Like, that's the turn where we can kill it, so I should probably do that. If we hit another blue, we can look at playing out the folio and holding up Didn't Say Please, because we're not taking a bazillion damage right now. Like, we can take 2 a turn for a bit. That's like a little scurry. I'd like to be able to do something about it, but I can't currently. I think we're going to run out Das Egg, which would at least lead us to being able to play this dude. We can hold up Counterspell, but like them being able to pump this is actually kind of terrifying. It may mean we're on the chump block with the Tome Raider plan and just go into straight milling them out being our win condition. Which I think is where I'm at, and that would lead me to wanting to hold up the counterspells anyway. Because that knight's pretty good too. I may be undervaluing using my life total as a resource at this point. If they play something we want to counter, we'll counter it. I think we probably want to counter that. Otherwise, we could just gain the life. And now we can look at Folio. with Counterspell up, or maybe just start the Folio Chain going. It's like, I've only got to mill them for a little bit, and we can get there. Because I could draw them up to 6 and then start milling for 6, 5, 4, and we're kind of there. It's unfortunate. Because it means we're taking a lot of damage. That's 6, 7, 8, 9. That may be too much for me to deal with. I'm still going to take the block here. I think instead of activating this, I want to gain the life. Because I'm kind of hungry right now. And I'm hoping we can draw the Capture Sphere variant for this. This could let me have another look at it, and it can at least chump if I need it to. Yeah, Charmed Sleep should serve us well here. So we take one more hit from it, and then we can get a Charmed Sleep going. And we could even have both of us draw end of turn to get this going. Well, that's unfortunate. I had a plan. I don't think there's anything I can draw for 1 black mana that'll stop it. So they were just a little too fast for us. And we needed to find our lullaby a little sooner, and I think we could have gotten something going there. But sometimes you to pigeon, sometimes you to statue, and it is that variance that makes Magic such a wonderful game. I always bemoan variance when it's me losing games, but never really thank variance when it's me winning. So let's take a moment to say thank you to variance. When I first started playing Magic, I had a friend that played as well, and frankly, he was better than me. But every time he won, he said it was because he was good. And every time he lost, he said it was because he got lucky. And over time, and I tried to, whereas I was the opposite, I was like, why did I lose? Why did I win? And tried to actually think about these things. And over time, that actually made me better at the game than him. And it took about 2 years before I realized I was really on the same level he was. And then probably another year before I was like, I'm actually better than him and he can't tell. He has no idea. Which I thought was like just an interesting transformation, if you will. That's probably reasonable enough for us to trade with. Because we don't have a whole lot else going here. We can play these two and get going. So, like, I think evaluating why you win and why you lose can lead to some good stuff for you. I was going to say, because it's super unlikely we actually draw the mana for that. And then we did, and it was great. Text on her is usually not relevant, but it was there. I don't want to discard either of the... Well, yeah, actually, let's be grown up. I can't cast that. It's kind of pie in the sky keeping that. They're hitting themselves. I like it. So... we're attacking. Do I discard this one? I don't want to discard that one. But I probably should. Because I can't cast it, and I know I can cast these other two. Let's just get the flyers going. If they can't deal with the flyers, I can win. I don't really think they're going to cast something small next turn. If they do, they got me. You may see the womboist of combos with the Fae of Wishes, or where you just go get a garbage card and discard it to the dragon. Then again, I could also just be a grown-up and play out the flyers so something like that doesn't happen. New. How about new? New. I mean, sometimes you just need to kill them with flyers. And as you can tell by that game, I won because I'm good at Magic, not because variance worked for me. So no need to think anymore. Right? You want to get better at Magic, examine why you win and why you lose. One thing that I did, like, I initially started recording draft videos not for other people to watch them or consumption, but so I could narrate what I was thinking when I made a play and then review it and see if I was an idiot or not. And a lot of times I was an idiot, which I think doing that can make you better at Magic if you give it some time and try it out. Like, you don't even have to say anything if you don't want to. You can probably remember what you were thinking. I think back in my podcasting days, that was one of the first things we discussed. Some argument to playing the tap land, but like we're kind of looking for another land. I don't really need to draw a bunch of cards right now. I do need to just consistently hit land drops, because I think we're going to be looking to counter something relatively soon. Because I literally can't do anything else, so that's why I think that seems like a pretty good idea. We've got the option to just Charm Sleep one of those or try Counterspell. I'm going to try the Counterspell. It leads to me being the most likely to be punished, but countering a big play here and then untapping and maybe killing one of these two would be pretty great for us. But they can get me here by just not playing anything or playing something that's not really worth countering. That said, we'll counter a cheeseburger if given the opportunity to do so. But yeah, they got me a little bit there by not doing that. Because I can't really sit and not do anything now. And we've also sort of telegraphed that we have the counter spell, which makes it even worse. Also, that doesn't help. This is kind of the opposite of what I wanted, but you get out of my dreams and into my pie. Get out of my dreams and into my pie. I could consider milling myself with that realistically. No. So do we want another pie? I kind of want another pie. I like pie. Pie's a delight. And then later we can put the fun back in funeral. They're going to try to kill me. This is not what I signed up for. Awkward. Alright. This is the most grown-up thing we can do here, which is hold up a counter spell or card draw and just take one this turn. Nah, I kind of need this to block. Decent mill. That looks alright. They could still kill me with a Guide Mother, but we kind of got to hope the top of their deck isn't quite that good. Mardu Heck? This is just lock, as we learned previously. Like, it's just lock. So I think we're looking to draw the Capture Sphere. So let's make sure we have the mana open to cast it. That's funny. I deserve everything that's happening to me. Well, I think it's more likely that we draw the Capture Sphere with 2 draws. Do I have 2 of those? I thought I had 2 of those. That did not work out well. I didn't care for that game. I liked the one where we won better. I think I have 2 Capture Spheres. If I didn't, it was probably worth tapping out all of the black there, because we do have 2 4-mana like quad blue flyers. I know I have 2 of those. If I have 2 of the Capture Spheres, or what? Yeah, I've got 2 Charm Sleeps. So it's like, which one do you want to play to? Ironically, though, I play to both of them if I leave all of the blue up. So yeah, I definitely should have tapped out of the black. Because what am I drawing for a single black that does anything? Drown in the Lock? That's the one thing we could draw that does something. Whereas I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 things I could draw that do something this way. That was just a misplay. Well, I mean, misplay. You don't know what's on the top of your deck, but you can think about what could I draw in that scenario, which I think qualifies it for the misplay tag. It could have been better than it were. I've noticed myself not thinking through the lines as often as I used to, because there's really not competitive limited Magic events anymore. I used to quite frequently play in the PPTQs on Magic Online, and like, that was intense. That was fun. I liked that. But there's not really a compelling reason to do that anymore. Because, like, if you get to the highest point on the Mythic Ladder, you get invited to a Constructed tournament. Like, I don't want to do that. Then you have to play Constructed? Who wants to do that? It's like your prize is you have to do extra homework. That's lame. So we do want double black. I don't think I want another island right meow. Yes, ideally we use Runaway together on this, but like, I'll still block with it. You do what you gotta because you can. Hey, that makes it even better. Now I can do it now and not feel so bad about it. Because I was considering waiting on it. And again, we can look at maybe getting this going on 5. Maybe getting it going now. Better play your spells. I can get another Runaway together next turn. So this currently mills for 5, and they're at 20. And then I can Runaway together bouncing around. Yeah, I think we're just on board with the mill plan now. Like, I think I'm just doing too much damage too quickly for them to really do anything. If they kill this, this gets a little worse, but I don't have to draw the runaway together again. Because, like, they're at 15, we're milling for 5, 5, 5. There's only mills for 4 now. That still doesn't seem like it's fast enough to kill me. So do I want to draw a bazillion cards? Because I feel like if I want to draw a bazillion cards, I draw a bazillion cards by activating this for 3, getting them to 6, and then milling them out with it. So I don't get any mill this turn, but we're only looking at taking 4 damage here. Like, that's not that bad. Like, they're going to get some rats, but I don't think they're killing me with it, and this can't go face. I may regret my decisions, we'll see. I don't want that. We've got them at 9 cards. So we mill here, counter something, we win. And that it doesn't look like they're going to kill me next turn. This means they're basically dead if they cast a spell and dead if they don't. Because they cast a spell, I'll counter it and mill them the rest of the way out. If they don't, I'll just mill them with this. Because they're 1 short here. Folio, putting in the Lord's work. I like that card. Again, it tilted me that the whole format was nothing but mill, but I'm okay with there being a rare that you open that can put you in the mill deck. And it's not like it's an auto win. Like, they just weren't playing enough aggressive creatures to stop me. I think a good aggro deck will do, well, we've seen an example of me drawing the folio and a good aggro deck just beating me to death before I could sit and dirtle behind it. Witching Well's pretty good here, so we could go well, dummy, counter, Queen of Ice. Festive Funeral continues to unimpress, but, I mean, we knew it wasn't that great when we took it. It's just a card that you can play, not one that you should prioritize. I'll eventually do an episode of The Joy of Drafting where we talk about the different types of removal and what makes something like Bacon to a Pie so much better than Festive Funeral. Ooh, Witchy Well. Man, it feels bad to be bottoming a Hackenbridge troll. I'm not gonna. It's my rare. I want to play with it, yo. I got so much to do with the mana we have. We can play this. We can counter a spell. We can play this thing. Mnas, eh? That seems pretty good. I don't want to deal with that. I have a feeling we're gonna die, and I'm not, like, really digging it much, honestly. Because this is the aggro deck your mama warned you about, and we're also not drawing lands, which is, well, a little greedy to keep the troll, but, like... Oh, yeah, okay, good games. That was fun. That was super fun. Huh, did you have a good time? Because I know I did. We can't even do anything! Like, I'm not taking 6 off of that. What am I supposed to do? I expect you to die, Mr. Bond. Still can't cast the troll. I can make him discard some cards. That super matters. That's, like, totally relevant. I guess I can play something to chump this with, and something to trade with this. Is probably my best line to hope for some sort of victory. And in a sense, the troll could stabilize me. If they're super duper smart, they might move this over here. Or they could just draw another Lance and make everything terrible for me. I'd really like it if they hadn't done that. So we're going to take 6, 7, 8, 9, and somehow think we're going to get stable from that. I don't think that's realistic. I think what we need to do is take 5, essentially, and then hope that there's nothing they can do about the troll. I suspect there's something they can do about the troll, but I'm trying to think about lines that could save us. So this can destroy a 1 cost, which is handy. Don't have an answer to my troll. I mean, I guess that's sort of the problem with the troll, is it comes with answers to itself, right? So we're taking 6, we're taking 10 and going to 3. Then I can potentially something. Kill a goat. Then use Festive Funeral on this guy. I don't quite see how that's going to work out for us. So I could play this, discard a card. That still doesn't give me Festive Funeral mana. Because I can Festive Funeral now, but it's only for 3, and that's just not enough. Making them sack an extra goat doesn't really seem great. Casting this doesn't really leave me any outs. I could make them discard their last 2 cards, and that's sort of funny. But I don't know that I'd call it good. I need to find a way to get my own cards in the graveyard. The problem is if I'm at 6, even if I can kill this, I'm really at 5. Because, like, there's some argument. Is this target opponent? It is. So I can't even target myself with that. This is so awkward. I guess we're not putting the fun back in Funeral. Well, let's go to attacks and see what we draw, because we're going to draw a card presumably when they sack a goat. And it might be something I could do something with. I still don't think this is good enough, right? Like, this is not anywhere near good enough. But if you're going to draw a card, you should draw a card first. We'll use both of our black to do that. That turns off bacon to a pie, but I don't think that's doing anything anyway. We can go to our sideboard and... Okay, so I guess I can drown in a lock and kill this now. I guess I was going to get to do that anyway, because we have to discard to hand size. I still think this isn't enough. Like, we're taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is exactly lethal. Unless they want to be greedy and move this over to this guy, but I don't know why you would do that. Yeah, they're just maximizing their damage. Holy carp. That's so many things that are going to kill me. My poor troll. Oh, not even sending a message with the goat. Oh, it's its controller's graveyard. So I can only kill the goat with this. Man. Well, you know what? You may have won the game, but I got your goat. It's fun to explore a format. And Eldraine is fun. I've had a good time here. I like the setting. I like the ideas. I still don't quite know what every card does, but that isn't something that should stop you from doing drafts or having fun with a format. And I think we got our gems back, right? I'm still not quite sure what the prize payout is for best of one. It's 1,500. Yeah, that wasn't a bad deal for up 100 gems and got some packs and stuff. That's nice. So thank you guys and gals for watching. It feels good to be back. Seems good, you might say. I do hope you'll come check out the stream. It's at twitch.tv/Semulin and check out the Joy of Drafting video series. I haven't done a series yet on gameplay, and I probably won't, because I think I'm maybe one of the best drafters you'll ever see, and I think I could use some work on the gameplay here and there. But I do think the draft series has a lot to offer. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you again to Alex for the opportunity to come here and get to hang out with all of you fine folks. And I'll see you next time. Y'all be cool to each other.